Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the first race of Season 2 of Enterprise Legacy. I am Entry Dave, and I'm joined in the booth today by Smapey. How are you doing tonight, Smapey?
I am doing fantastic. Really, really happy to be here for the second season, as you mentioned, of Enterprise Legacy. No meta objective today because we are starting fresh, but we do have some fun flags left over from Infinius, don't we?
Yes, we do. And first off, Infinius has decided no grinds tonight.
Yep, that's right. We got no sirens. We've got Vanilla Giant, so our runners are going to have to be working around that fact. We do have some other fun things in store that might be able to help them out. We have to find Cecil at some point, and with T. Wildish on, there is a strong chance of getting one of his really, really strong swords, which will definitely help the teams out.
That's true. And Vanilla Traps turned on, it's going to be very easy to find the trap chest that can have his big old hidden sticks.
Yeah, definitely one of those things that's going to reward knowledge of the vanilla game. Usually, those trap chests are randomized, so if you're more conditioned to the free enterprise sort of things than the regular game, then this might be the time to pull up some maps and charts and find out exactly where those trap chests are.
Oh, I played Vanilla many a time, and you ask me where the Vanilla Traps are on Moon, I'm still going to shrug at you.
Yeah, I know I could maybe get through Castle Evelyn with trap chest, but anywhere else, yeah, that's going to be a big pulling up the wiki right there. But yeah, we will have a mandatory giant here as well. So we have that vanilla giant on. So once you're committed to it, you'll probably want to keep a second save going just in case you have to get out, because the only way through the giant once you're in is to complete it. But it is something our runners are going to have to do here tonight.
That is correct. And you do want to keep that second save because there can be some nasty things that show up there. We could have Wyvern showing up at the element spot with Wave.
Could also have retreat, as we were talking about before we went live. That would always be a treat to see.
It's always a fun troll, especially at a high XP spot.
Yeah. Yeah, and considering the lack of grind options here, our runners are definitely want to milk those high XP spots there, like that element spot. I'm going to guess they're going to want to wait until they've got 10 key items before wanting to commit to that giant play.
I agree with that. And speaking of which, we could also see a 10 key item trap chest grind from either of our runners.
Yeah, indeed. Not much reason to go to the moon, but if you wanted to, a lot of experience to be had in those chests, a lot of great loot with Wildish on. So that is always an option for our runners if they want to grind up their team in the late game. Looks like we're about ready to go. Tybalt looks to be readying up. Possum Morpheus probably soon to follow. And there they go.
And we'll soon see who's going to be joining Forum on her adventure.
How about a brother?
We got a twin start and a blue robe, giving us a pink tail.
That pink tail's big. Adamant armors are indeed on, so as soon as our runners are able to find that hook, that is a free suit of adamant armor and a huge boost in power.
Palom is one of the stronger second characters you could get here. The twin command will do a lot of work to clear some of the early bosses.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. A lot of times there's a bit of a struggle to try to get the damage together you need to take care of those early bosses. The twin cast command, though, not a problem. That can take care of most of these spots on the overworld, so there's really not any delay for you getting your damage going here.
And it looks like both runners are heading down to Castle Evelyn to loot. Normally this is slower because you have to play dodge the trap chest, but with vanilla traps on, that's not a problem.
Yeah, they're going to know exactly where those chests are. They'll know whatever they can get, and with Wildish on, they have potential to get some really, really nice stuff. Not necessarily much that's going to benefit Palom and Porum here, since they're not as equipment bound as some other characters, but we do know that Cecil is going to be seen at some point, so wanting to get some gear for him would be good. Any of the other melee characters good, and if we pull something really good rod, Palom will really appreciate that.
Possum finding a cursed ring in here, this will help with agility anchoring later on.
Yeah, we've been so used to with Zima Zone going on, with Sea Hero being on. That's not the case here tonight. So agility manipulation is a little bit more lenient than it would be if being a turn. Oh, Tybalt actually runs into one of those trap chests. Going to have to pull a save there.
That cursed ring means you don't necessarily have to worry about keeping one character down at all times to act as your anchor.
Indeed, and every character is guaranteed to be here. So if our runners want to find one of those dedicated agility anchors, not going to be too difficult to come across. Though they do only have 4 party slots, so that is going to remove a little bit of their power.
Correct. It is a larger loss of power going from 5 to 4 if you have someone dedicated as anchored than from 4 to 3.
Ooh, a Grimoire and a Change Rod there in the Watery Pass. Very, very nice. The Change Rod, good amount of wisdom boost for Palom, and the Grimoire is kind of a get out of a boss fight free if you can roll high enough on the summon.
Bahamut or Chocobo, no exceptions.
One or the other.
As our runners are bringing this out, I would like to point out what our runners are, or what we get for winning this race. First place in this race, we'll get to add a flag to the current flag set, and we'll choose what objective replaces number 5 on our list.
A lot at stake for going forward. If you're new to Enterprise Legacy, it is a kind of ongoing narrative sort of event where the winners and their performance in a given race will dictate the rules of races going forward. It's kind of inspired by Legacy style board games, hence the name. So we're not just going for glory here. There's also some like physical, tangible effects to be had by winning the race. So very, very cool concept. Possum Morpheus heading over to Hobbs. Tybalt's already there, and we're going to check the character.
Looks like we found a bow and arrow and some strength boosting gear for that Porum.
Yep, get a little bit of archer time out of her before she kind of becomes a full-fledged mage. And Edward being guarded by Bigan.
I like taking this fight right now. The spoon flag is on.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So when we do come across that spoon, that's going to be a huge boon for Edward, turning into a very nice class cannon. And Bigan is normally a nasty fight, but very easy to deal with when you've got that twin cast ability. And oh yeah, Dancing Dagger was found in Evelyn Castle, so Edward can actually contribute damage right off the bat.
Tybalt getting 2 comet rolls in a row. RNG's having some fun over there.
Unfortunately, Possum Morpheus has got one of the twins down, so no twin casting there. Is going to have to take a reset and retry this fight.
To answer a question in chat, Palom Sprite was present. It's in the bottom middle. It was Edge, Tella, and Fusoya that were not present on the naming screen because those 3 are designated to not be in the seed.
Possum Morpheus's attempt number 2 coming up here. Hopefully be a little kinder to those twins. They can get that twin casting off.
Oh, Possum going with the Grimoire instead, and Bahamut or Chocobo.
Exactly like you said. That is one way to just blast through there. And a nice amount of experience for all of our kids here. Most importantly, that fight does get Palom to the tier 2 elemental spells. So doesn't have to rely on Twin Cast to do damage now. Now can do plenty of damage just on his own. The Twin Cast is available if you want to try to pull a multi-target ability out.
Correct, or if you run into something angry like, say, Ogopogo, who counters all magic.
Yeah, Ogopogo not a fan of those spell casts. Twin Cast, good way to get away around it.
because twin magic is not actually magic. Just Final Fantasy IV things.
Don't think about it too hard. And not a lot of looting here by Tybalt. He's gotten his fill from the other locations he's been to. Seeing a couple chests on the way before heading to the boss, which is the Kaipo Guards, it looks like.
Yes, it is.
Good candidate for twin cast.
I think Tybalt was hoping for a third Comet.
Yeah, Comet would have been a little bit better here, but Flare still takes out 2 of the soldiers. One of them still remains, so that the officer isn't going to run away, so we'll be able to get full experience out of it. Not that it's an enormous amount here, but every little bit helps this early on.
Never complain about more XP.
There is a tower key, not immediately useful, but as soon as we get underground, that can open up some additional options here for our runners.
It appears Possum's going to take the same tact with this fight, Dancing Dagger the officer, and the twins are going to do their thing.
Yeah, if you're one of the runners here, it might be a conundrum. Normally, our runners don't like to see hook routes since they're generally more difficult than just getting the magma key and going underground. But finding the hook would mean getting a set of adamant armor, so pretty good consolation prize if this does end up being a hook route.
And if we find the hook, then immediately find a spoon afterwards. We can
add a spoon.
Yeah, we can go with adamant spoonward.
Spoonament. There's got to be a good portmanteau there somewhere.
Spoonament?
Spoonament. Spoonament. Yeah, we'll go with that. Spoonament. A little bit of inventory management there by Tybalt, selling some of his spoils in Fabul before going to check on the Fabul defense.
If it's not a flavor of gun, we will make it one.
Yeah, it's brands that Edward sponsors. It's got an endorsement deal with them. Mylon and friends here. A little bit of twin casting should take care of these ghasts. We need a little more twin casting than that. Morpheus is caught up and in the fight as well.
There's not going to be much of a strategy other than for this fight. Although, rather, we're going to see the same dancing daggers and twin casting.
Yep, seems like that is the case. No Comet for Morpheus, but Tybalt does get it. That's going to take care of the ghasts and do a chunk of damage to Mylon.
You definitely want Comet because Comet does not deal split damage.
That is correct. So very, very useful for these multi-target fights. And some arrow shooting there for Porum is going to finish the fight. And we'll see what the King of Fabul has in store for runners here. Ooh, second flare there by Morpheus, but this one does take care of.
Milo's lit one's counters here do a decent amount of damage.
That's a Baron key there. That could mean our runners could be having a little bit of an extended time here in the overworld.
And it means we'll be able to find out what that blue robe was at the start. Is it a free fight or is it a very annoying fight?
That is very, very true. We will have, I believe the alt gauntlet is enabled, so there is the possibility of everybody's favorite Senator Crocodile.
Hey, I'd vote for him.
I don't know, I find his agenda a little bit toothless. Heading over to Mount Ordeals here, Tybalt with the next play. Makes perfect sense. Got Palom powered up enough that he should be able to burst through all the fights here.
We know we're finding a Cecil at some point. may as well have him be a paladin when you find him.
Indeed. Just easier all around. Not specifically looking for any bosses here, so the 3 bosses isn't a huge help to our runners. But the check and upgrading Cecil is definitely worth it.
We got our first look, and Antlion is vacationing away from its home on the moon.
Yeah, it decided it wanted to hang out in the least punchy spot in the game. That's definitely a choice. This should be a incredibly easy Antlion fight. Antlion, one of those bosses that can show up in some high-level spots and really sow some chaos, but like I said, this has the lowest physical strength in the game. Antlion, not a problem whatsoever.
And with this party, there is no need to worry about the physical attack countering physical attack. We don't plan on physically attacking.
Indeed. So no sitting through the animation of the counter. Going into the back attack, and it is Leviathan.
This could be spicy for our runners.
Yeah, they're going to start with the back attack, so Leviathan is going to get to its transform phase a little bit quicker. Using the Star Veils. Yeah, good strategy here.
I would do the same thing here. You do not want to take these Ice 2s, not with this party.
Yeah, I would even be tempted to layer a couple of slows on with Porum as well, just because since Leviathan is one of those bosses that transforms, you get a bit more value out of the slow spell, since there's the additional turn wasted going back and forth between phases.
Yeah,
big damage that lit 2, yeah.
This damage appears to be 2 or 3 lit 2s, depending where the Ice 2 goes.
Palom winds up for the next one. Here's the pitch, and bang! Down goes Leviathan.
I see someone was watching the World Series yesterday.
Might he be a lifelong Braves fan?
Well, congratulations to your Braves.
Shout out to Rivers, McCown, and Fleury out there, who I'm sure were not too pleased. And saving up before going into the Kluya Shrine.
On Possum side, Porum is down, is choosing to just try to burn down the Leviathan before it can do too much damage to the Ice 2s.
Nice block there on the Ice 2 with that Reflect, so that Palom can keep the Lit 2s going. Very similar strategy to what we saw from Tybalt, and should be down here relatively soon. There's Bahamut here. Not a terribly difficult fight. Can't imagine this is going to take very long.
And giving us the Adamant Rock. Not
so
quite
that is
armor.
Nice. We do have Super Forge on, so we will get some potentially some fun Game Boy Advance weapons if we can find that Legend Sword.
That Super Smith could be anything. It could be anything from Lightbringer, Abel's Lance, all the way down to Caliburn and Scrap Metal.
Delicious scrap metal. So got to think next up for Tybalt has got to be Baron. Probably do the Baron in first. And if that gives progression, we'll see if he decides to go into the castle or not, or to just move on if it's the hook or the Magna Key.
I would agree with you. It seems like Baron in the Baron Castle is probably the play here.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think we've seen a check in Mist Cave or Waterfall Cave, have we?
We have not. Although the only boss we'd be looking for there is D-Mist.
Yes. Very rare to have 5 objectives and none of them be boss hunts.
Depending on what we find here, that we may go on a demist hunt.
Take advantage of that Baron key to open up the Baron Armory. Check those shops out here.
That's very true, Neobar. It's less rare to have them when we handpick the objectives.
What, you mean runners don't love boss hunts more than anything else in the world?
I absolutely love boss hunts, especially when the boss is hiding its CPU. Behind a rude boss's elements.
Yeah. Converting Edward into an archer now. His dancing dagger days are behind him.
And that is Cecil having a conversation with himself.
That is an objective there, and this should be a very easy pain man to get through. Got a question in chat. Are you playing 2 at once? This is actually 2 contestants playing against each other. This is a randomized version of Final Fantasy IV. Lots of things are mixed up in different locations, different characters, and it's open world. Right from the get-go, you have the airship, so you can go wherever you want to try to hunt down what you need to complete the game. Both runners are playing on the same seed, so even though it is randomized in the same way for both runners. And thank you, Scala, for the link there. Go ahead and check that out. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask. We'll be happy to answer them for you.
Yeah, what I was saying first about this, I'm getting some Persona vibes from this fight, from this little standoff.
Yeah, a little bit of French vanilla here with the Baron Guards.
This is one of the ruder things that can show up in the second spot. If we don't have a way to stop them or throw some sort of status effect on them.
Yeah, Baron Guard's not necessarily considered one of the more difficult fights in the game, but yeah, just this particular set of circumstances makes this particularly nasty. I don't think we've seen a mute bell or anything like that, so we can't really do... oh, no, Possibilities does have a mute bell. So that's going to make things way easier for him. Still has to deal with all that incoming damage, but those counter spells are not going to be a problem.
This spot is deceptively punchy. And we have 2 punches around coming in, it's more dangerous.
It's appropriately punchy considering the vanilla fight here is with the Punch Man himself.
That's very true.
Oof. Those one-shots on the mages, just not fun. It is a particularly slow spot, though, so that is one advantage that we have here. And Edward, very fast character, can get around. Might be hiding through these attacks, showing up and trying to get some lives out. This is actually some really smart play here by Morpheus to try to salvage this.
It is a very good way to get through this fight. Tybalt having has managed to land stop on both the guards.
And this looks like a Hail Mary virus here.
The guard is stopped. That's not a Hail Mary.
Stopped. Okay. Slightly less than a Hail Mary virus, and it's down. Tybalt is through the fight.
And we could have some music coming.
Talking about staying on the overworld here, this game just refusing to give underground access to our runners. So now they can go either to the Harp or Baron Castle, both options available to them now.
And we have one of the leaders of Always Harp in chat right now, rooting for them to check it. Tybalt going to go look for a nice shiny stick for our Cecil.
Yeah, I like this here. Now you've got a much stronger team. You've looted everything except the trap chests. Go ahead and open them. There's such a high Well, I shouldn't say high. A decent probability that you're going to pull something good for Cecil.
I think it's on T Wildish. It's better than a coin flip to get a tier 8 out of here.
Yeah, and a lot of those tier 8s are good for Cecil.
2 of them are weapons exclusive to him, and 1 is the best armor in the game.
Well, Possum Orpheus is still struggling to get through these Baron guards.
Looks like Possum Orpheus is trying to land a piggy on them. I think that's what he was charging. I'm not sure.
I think that was a counterattack piggy.
Oh, good call. That was probably a stop then.
Always fun to see a level 1 Cecil taking 1 damage from a hit. That's how you know you've got some decent armor on him.
A single piece of crystal gear is all you would need to take 1 damage from a skull.
Good old undead resistance.
And that's a crystal shield. Hey, Possum Orpheus has 1 of the guards down. That's going to cut the incoming damage in half.
Yeah, that's actually big. Oh, and that's big too. Edward able to survive a hit there.
Shoutouts to Eddie tanking that hit.
Yeah, that might have been the break that he needed to get through this. And it's down. Possum Orpheus is through. Edward coming through as the MVP once again.
Possum Orpheus will probably be going to Baron Castle after this, as he will fade harp whenever possible.
Yeah, next benefit to these opening these chests too for Tybalt is this is most likely going to get Palom to level to be able to cast Quake, and that is going to be a huge boost in power for the team. I just noticed the samurai arrows were for sale that
Yes, they are.
Tybalt had equipped, so that is really, really big for any archers in the team.
Tybalt pulling an Avenger out of that first chest.
I love it. It's not the ideal weapon for Cecil, but that is a fantastic one for him for the time being.
Some back rolling Cecil, going to put the same Ice Brand on.
Yeah, unlike his brother-in-arms, Kane, Cecil's very easy to set the back row glitch on since he can use bow and arrow. Just equip that, and of course, when you unequip the bow and arrow, the game never actually flips the bit back that says they are in the back row, so they're considered to be in the back row for the rest of the game. Unfortunately, the only weapon Kane can equip that has that back row property is the Dwarf Axe. So, one of the advantages Cecil has over Kane.
With Possum Orpheus finding a heroine robe, that form is going to start putting out some good damage with her archery.
Yeah, we talked about how, eventually she's going to convert from an archer into a full-fledged mage, but that heroine robe can extend her life as an archer for quite a bit longer. Basically flip-flops your magic stats into physical stats. Getting those auto covers in. And Lamia is down. Oh my goodness, there's Excalibur. Wow.
There's one right here. That Cecil's online.
That's amazing. Not only the Excalibur, but also the Avenger. So you can equip Excalibur and then even use the Avenger glitch to just switch out and get the auto berserk. So that Cecil's good to go for the rest of the game.
So for those of us in chat who aren't familiar with what we're talking with the Avenger glitch, you start with a powerful weapon equipped, like say the Excalibur. Then on your then in combat you switch it to the Avenger. Exit the item menu. Let the menu fade away. It will berserk the character, but they will keep the stats of the weapon that was equipped previously. So it allows you to freely berserk any character while keeping their previous weapon stats on.
And we indeed have the Alt Gauntlet here in Baron Castle. So you know what that means. Bum bum ba bum bum ba bum ba bum ba bum bum. Please rise for Senator Crocodile.
And we're going to be washing out the castle a little bit.
Yeah, this might actually turn out to be Tybalt's advantage when he comes through here, since he's going to have Quake on his Palom, whereas Morpheus is having to multicast Virus, which isn't quite doing enough damage to one-shot some of these fights.
Edward doing 1100 to an ogre. He must have a mute knife on.
Yeah, that's the only way I can see Edward doing that much damage. Casual 1520 from the Bard there.
To answer Oscar in chat, if you manage to cast Stop on the Crocodile at the right time, you can basically, freeze the gauge, as Cubrel was saying. If you manage to stop it in the middle of its chain.
I did not know that.
It's why using an hourglass on the crocodiles is a bad idea.
Is if there is no current name for that glitch, can we call that the filibuster?
I would be for it, but first I have to stand in front of my podium and argue for 10 hours.
Good old Senator Crocodile and the filibuster glitch. We are through the fight here on Morpheus' side, going to go fight the king. And Dathis, we got a vanilla boss here. Worth it, Oscar. Cecil was in Baron Inn.
And we have some vanilla on the throne. This should be with Virus and an Ice Brand to hit it before the wave goes up. This will be a relatively easy fight for both runners.
Yeah, this is going to be short work of the Turtle Man. Tybalt is going into Baron Castle himself now. We'll see how much time he's able to make up on Morpheus for having all of that power available to him now between Quake and Excalibur.
And the Kenatsu's wave not overly threatening. We'll still see the lit one not to avoid the wave damage, but to reset Kenatsu's weakness to ice.
Yeah, very important for Cecil's damage here, wielding that Ice Brand. He is weak to ice when he is in his normal form. When the wave's up, that weakness switches over to lightning. So, since we want Cecil hitting as hard as possible, want to bring that wave down.
Tybalt finding out about the Senator and his posse. Senator and his interns.
Multicast Virus from Palom might be wanting to conserve MP, but Palom's strong enough that he is actually able to one-shot with it. And, that is Rosa in Baron Castle. We've got a power couple here.
Doogie, Excal was found in the cat and snake chest in Evelyn. I don't know if that chest has an official name, but that's what was in it.
Cat and snake chest. That's plenty descriptive. Tracker Twisty Flax. Getting rid of Eddie guarantees a spoon in the trash can, right? You can only hope.
The C buy flag is not on, so if you find a spoon there, you can just go right back and get him. Morpheus is about to find out the news of or will soon find out about the news of Excal and Avengers waiting in Evelyn Castle.
And Tybalt's through, and we'll be moving on to the throne room here to face the water turtle.
And Tybalt will find out about a delicious scoop of vanilla waiting. I would like to point out that with the key items we found so far, we have a required twin harp coming up next.
Yeah, that is true.
Unless
there's a demist somewhere, yeah. That would be the only way out of this harp check here.
Demist is hiding somewhere else. We're getting required music.
And there's the cat and snake chest, as you so aptly put it, Engine Dave. This is going to be good news for Possum Morpheus, because we know what's here.
Possum Morpheus is going to get through this a lot faster, having Quake coming into Evelyn Castle.
Yeah, much easier than a time than Tybalt had.
And he finds out the good news. And choosing not to take the Mad Ogre chest.
He's got what he wanted.
That's fair. The only thing you'd be looking for there is a crystal sword or an adamant armor.
Yeah, and when you already know you've got an adamant armor in your pocket, at that point it's just like, okay, that's all I need. Anything up above that is kind of overkill.
And with Excal in hand, it's time to go face the music.
Well put. I know there's been a big hesitancy among a lot of top players recently to make the harp check if there's any other possibility available. So I'm a little surprised to see Possum Morpheus not check Mist Cave or Waterfall Cave before going to it.
You maybe think it's just faster to go straight down here than take time to check two spots for one specific boss.
Yeah, exactly. With no boss hunts on the board, yeah, that value does diminish greatly from those checks.
Possum Morpheus heading up to the Dark Elf, going to get his party knocked down.
Tybalt is looking to make an Odin check here. I like it.
And I'm thinking it's about that time we need to be quiet and listen to the tunes of DJ Spoonie B.
Ah, if I must.
And
Okay, what the heck? What's going on here?
while we were listening to this, we had 2 more scoops of vanilla show up.
Unbelievable. A rat tail, that's not useful right now. That means that this Demas chick, Tybalt, is about to turn in.
And it's a hook.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So Tybalt might be able to skip Harp altogether.
Maybe. We don't know it's at that rat tail.
Yeah, that's true. This could be a very, very interesting divergence point for our runners, depending on what that rat tail gives.
If rat tail is exactly darkness crystal or sand ruby, it's still required.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And of course, both runners are going to be able to pick up that pink tail here soon. Or turn in that pink tail, rather, which means adamant armor. Cecil is about to get nutty. Speaking of beautiful, was anyone able to identify that harp song? Because I don't think I checked it. And
I blanked on it.
Yeah, it sounded vaguely familiar, but I couldn't place it. Part of me wanted to say Xenogears. I don't know. But anyway, Tybalt turning in that pink tail, getting a suit of adamant armor. Potsomorpheus is going to go check that Odin spot himself and find out that it is, in fact, Odin.
I could see Tybalt fading the harp now because Adamant, Excal, Avenger, Cecil is just going to tear through pretty much anything on the hook route. But I would be very wrong in guessing that.
Yeah, I mean, this is a boss with so much magic defense that, having a strong physical offense, especially since it's Mom Bomb with the extra HP, is required. But you've got Excalibur, Adamant, Cecil, so, that's all the physical offense you need. Lit arrows coming in useful over on Potsomorpheus' side. He might be making a run for this.
It's a good play here. Potsomorpheus knows there's a Demon's Hunt in play.
This is going to be close. And he does get it. This could be big for Possum Orpheus based on what the reward is.
It's the magma key.
What is this?
So
What is this seed?
Possum Orpheus now knows there's a Demist hiding in one of 3 spots on the overworld with the hook.
That's true, yes, because that can't, because the logic will not use that spot as a place to put underworld access. So, yes, Possum Orpheus does have the information he needs to know that there is a hook available somewhere through Demist.
And it must be at either Zot 1, Demon or Mist Cave or Waterfall.
Yeah, I've got to imagine Possum Orpheus is doing the calculus here and knowing, yeah, I'm going to check for that because I want that hook to turn in these tails that I've got. And yeah, he's heading right where he needs to go. This is big for Possum Orpheus.
Possum Orpheus knows the flags and knows Demist has to be in one of these spots with the hook. Or an Earth Crystal leading to the hook.
But yeah, let's shut up again for this mystery song.
Shoutouts to Tybalt for being a man of the people of both showing us what the name of the song is and doing a laugh to give us an extended version.
And was that the package from the rat tail?
That it was.
Okay, so not something that I think we're going to immediately be checking or honestly be checking at all here, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is indeed 10 key items for Possum Orpheus.
That's the more important part of that package, is number 10.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about since this is a required giant, our runners are going to want 10 key items before going in there, just to take advantage of the massive amount of experience available at that element spot. So now we are going to likely see a major divergence here. Possum Orpheus using the magma key to go immediately into the underground, whereas Tybalt, since he's already tried that Odin fight and was unsuccessful, is probably going to chase this hook route here.
And with a setup Tybalt has, that hook route is not going to be overly challenging.
Yeah, it is not. Is carrying over. I was curious to see if he might go give Odin one more try since he's got the adamant armor now, and it looks like that might be what he's doing. He might be saving himself.
He's going to fight that magma.
Now, still far from a trivial fight here. He is going to have to set it up. He is going to have to do enough damage quick enough, but he's definitely got the strength in that Cecil here. So this is big. If Tybalt gets through here, then he's going to avoid the trap of that hook route.
This right here is why these two are top runners. I would have fallen for that trap.
Oh, 100%. I'd be going down the hook route, get evil walled at Rubicante, and just hate myself. So here we go. Let's see if we've got the damage here on. Now, that was actually a really clever setup there. You mentioned the Avenger glitch. Instead of using the Excalibur to set up the Avenger glitch, he used lit arrows to set it up, so that he's going to be taking advantage of that effective damage from the elements. That is a big heads-up play there.
Yep, that's what it does. It copies the effect of any weapon you had on prior to the Avenger.
Yeah, I have not seen that before, and that is just such a clever strategy. And yeah, Cecil just pumping out the damage here. Sword raises, gets it in though. He is good to go. Magma Key for Tybalt, and he is going to be chasing Possum Morpheus into the underworld.
Possum Morpheus looks like he's about to take a grind on trap chests. Heading down to the Poison Treasury in Sylph Cave.
Yeah, interesting. Not something that we see very often, but of course, normally we're playing with randomized trap chests. If he knows where they are and he's got a team strong enough to... Oh, is he doing Adamant Quake Tech here? Yes, he is. So with the agility that Palom gets from the Adamant armor, it should give him just enough speed to one-shot these ghosts with Quake.
That'll put him up to relative agility 1, and a Quake with how many enemies are going to try to get into the queue, that Quake is guaranteed to fire before any of them get to cast their Fire 2.
Yeah, that is, again, just really heads-up tech here from Possum Morpheus, knowing that is available.
You can safely do that on, well, every fight down here, really, because the two Morbles might get their attacks in first. I'm not entirely sure how to avoid it, but it doesn't matter, because even if they breath Palom, Adamant will negate it.
Yep, got that status immunity built into it, as well as the other many, many features that the Adamant armor brings to the table. Just a really broken piece of equipment.
Possum Morpheus has a cursed ring, so it's going to be extremely easy to get that Palom to relative agility 1.
Already seeing tier 3 elemental spells, Cure 3 for Rosa. Experience is really... Oh, was that the
second set of Adamant?
Oh my goodness, we've got a Super Forge on the table. Oh no, excuse me, no, that was Adamant armor. No. We don't have key items in trap chests. We already had that Adamant rock. What am I thinking? We just have another piece of armor.
Then we're going to be seeing... No, Tybalt's going to turn in the pan, going the other way, and is avoiding the trap chest, or avoiding the Toad Lady trap chest.
Yep, focused on just getting those key items, getting progression in here.
Yep. 3 free key item checks and an objective.
How about a second Excalibur?
Oh, that's fantastic. We could just dart it with... Oh, wait.
If only Edge was here to teach Cecil how to dual wield.
Just need to turn on Omnidextrous. It's fine.
And I didn't catch what the Sylphs had for Tybalt.
I believe it was a glass hat.
Okay. Very useful if you want to set up some cover strats with Cecil. Extremely high defense on that. Oh, Life Staff for Rosa or Porum. That's really nice.
Getting lots of XP, getting some good items down here.
Our spoon.
Tybalt finding the spoon. We can have Adamant Spoon Word.
We could, but I think Adamant Excalibur Cecil is a little bit more tempting.
Just needs to find the second Adamant armor.
Ooh, Bacchus is for sales. It look for sale. It looks like the Human Torch was denied a bank loan.
A third Adamant armor.
Is that another one? Are you kidding me right now?
So
Three.
Why not
Three
Adamant armors for everyone?
This is silly.
At this point, we don't care about anchoring anymore.
Once you have that much adamant armor, you're not really concerned with anchoring or agility or any of that nonsense. You're just ready to slap faces. Oh, speaking of getting faces slapped, there's Ogopogo in the Fey March. That is the queen spot. That is a required Ogopogo.
Fortunately, we have adamants. Well, in possible case, we're going to have 3 adamants. So those punches at this spot, which are normally decent damage, not going to be much of a threat.
No, they are not. The HP percent damage is still HP percent damage. Adamant armor is not going to protect against that, but the physical follow-ups won't be as big of a deal. And Adamant is going to let us better match Ogopogo's speed that he would get at this spot. So you're looking at a rare instance of Ogopogo not being as threatening as he usually is. Goes down quickly for Tybalt. I can only imagine how quick it's going to be for Possum Morpheus.
And that's the power of adamant armors with Excals. Or adamant armors with spoons if we find a second one. Or Tybalt finds a second one.
Just in case you want to do a little bit of agility manipulating. There you go.
Do you take on the Valvalis here?
You know, you're here. You're strong enough to do it. Might as well. No coming back later. And Possum Morpheus about to get the news about his mandatory Ogopogo. A little speed manipulation there, just to be safe.
Just in case it's a certain bird. I guess the only witch burn that could really be a threat here. This spot is pretty good magic.
Yeah, any of the tier 3 elemental spells might be pretty nasty here.
Quake, White. I would. Tybalt is one check ahead of Possum Morpheus, but Possum Morpheus has a massive gear advantage.
Yeah, and a level advantage as well. That was some really nice experience from those chests as well. So Possum Morpheus has got the strength. Tybalt has got the slight progression edge. Now, they are in the same location here, just on different bosses, so it is a very slight edge in that case. Ogopogo down for Possum Morpheus. Going to get his second objective, and I've got to imagine he'll be taking on the Volvalis as well.
I don't see a world where Possum Morpheus doesn't immediately take one step to the left.
Yeah, for anybody joining, Possum Morpheus has 3 sets of adamant armor. Just want to lay that on the table here. Tybalt has a mere 1.
And for the one white mage that's not going to have an adamant armor, a white shirt.
And down goes the Tornado Queen. Now, what if she has the Legend Sword? Oh, Party Rock instead.
Yeah, Party Rock. That.
I mean, Treasury on Wildish is fun, but I can't imagine either our runners are really gonna want to look for more loot right now.
It is a key item check if we are running short on. No, we're not running short on those. I thought we were, and I remember we have 3 more underground checks plus the pan turn in.
Yeah, we got we do have options here. We have almost every key item we need available except for the ones we need. Still need that Darkness Crystal. Still need that Sand Ruby.
And a pass would be fantastic.
Yeah, I'm sure our runners would like to avoid ever going to the moon if that's a possibility at all.
Yeah, no need to. You don't need to sit through the whale cutscene at all, or the Lunar Deus character cutscene.
Cubs Roll pointing out if you skip Treasury, that's 18 crystal swords you leave behind. That's true. Wayne Gretzky was famous for saying you miss 100% of the crystal swords you don't take.
Exactly. And think about all the sirens you could buy with those 18 crystal swords.
Can't buy any sirens. They're not available.
Maybe we're just not paying the right price. And more vanilla.
We're just not offering the seed enough money. And this, sure, why not? We've had like 17 vanilla bosses already. What's an 18?
And the question is, do we have vanilla behind this too?
Very well could be. We've not seen hide nor hair of Golbez, and we have not gotten a peek at Tower of Zot to see who's actually here. So, little more divergence here. Possum Morpheus is not going to go to Dwarf Castle and is instead going to cash in that pan.
Yeah, Possum Morpheus is going to get an objective and check some freebies.
And Dr. Lugai puts a stop to all this vanilla nonsense. But Rydia says, no, I want more vanilla, and shows up in her vanilla location.
There's a Legend Sword.
Well, there you go. Super Forge is on the table. I gotta wonder if Possum Morpheus is even interested.
With his party, but the only thing there's only 2 things that could show up there that would actually make this party stronger.
It'll be a Lightbringer or
Gigant Axe.
Yeah, the Gigant Axe, yeah. Because honestly, nobody else on his team needs anything there. We've got a life staff.
Maybe a Caster Rod.
Yeah, maybe.
Whatever, whichever one's Triton Dagger or Asura Rod, is it?
Yeah, I think it's the Asura Rod. I think you're right. Doesn't have Stardust Rod? I believe he has a Charm Rod.
I don't believe we've seen a Stardust Rod yet.
Possum Morpheus hitting up that tower. We've had that tower key in our pocket for a while now. Might as well get our 2 checks in.
Hey, Tybalt, done with his Doctor's appointment.
It's a good color for the hand. I like that color.
It's no spooky hand, but it is a good color.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, spooky hand is always top tier, but I like the aqua.
Twisted Flax is pointing out in chat. Yes, Possum Morpheus is guaranteed a 17 out of 17. And we'll need to go back to hit Dwarf Castle at some point. That is a Darkness Crystal.
That's big for Tybalt. That is access to the Giant. And I got to wonder if he's going to go right there or look around for a few more key items. Because the Giant's not going to give you anything key item related, but it is required.
Still need more key items, and you're ready underground. May as well go to the tower.
Yeah, makes perfect sense.
Morpheus made very short work of the CPU at Super Cannon Room.
Yeah, that's a good place to find CPU.
Yeah,
Normally
nice,
a very annoying fight, but not so much there.
nice 600 HP of CPU, ripped through easily.
Always nice when you get to ignore mechanics.
I think the actual CPU main body has 500 there. Not that 100 points makes much difference when you're swinging an Excal.
This would have been a very ugly fight if we weren't as powerful as we were.
And also a very free hook route.
Yeah.
That was King Queen Evelyn at the Rubicon spot.
That's pretty great.
Maybe hook wasn't as much of a trap as it seemed.
Yeah, especially since Evil Wall couldn't have been at couldn't have been in the King Queen Evelyn spot.
Morpheus with 3 adamant arms is going to take 1 damage from every one of these Evil Wall punches. We'll probably get through in 4-ish Excal swings.
Yeah, sounds about right. About 20,000 HP at this spot.
Five if he rolls like that.
Answer your question, chat. Yes, we are at 4 characters max for this particular flag set. Normally, Final Fantasy IV is a max of 5, but one of the flags enabled right now limits the party size to 4, so you have to be a little more judicious in who you take. Just a ribbon. Which, you know, good piece of equipment, but not exactly what we're looking for right now. But I guess that 4th person can get status immunity now.
Yeah, whichever white mage is not wearing an adamant armor.
Yeah.
Cultural, I would also say those 3 adamants are good for Evil Wall.
This is just not Evil Wall's day today. There's just too much countering him. He's like, I'll secure this ribbon for myself, and then I'll be safe. Wait, what are those 3 wearing?
Here we see the big difference. Tybalt only having 1 suit of adamant armor, those is taking significant damage from the Evil Wall.
Yeah, the good news is the person who needs to not be taking damage is not.
I don't know. I saw Edward take damage.
Okay, fair enough. Didn't know I was broadcasting with Asuka today. And just a blarg, so big womp from the tower.
So this means we're down to sealed cave and cave value. And the earth crystal.
Yep, you're right. We are quickly running out of spots here.
One of those has to be Sand Ruby, one has to be the pass, and one can be whatever it wants to be. Maybe another adamant armor.
If only. I'm thinking about it. I think Evil Wall would look cute with a ribbon on it. Above that spooky skull head. Let's have a nice pink ribbon.
We'll decorate the wall a little bit. Maybe have the twins. Maybe let the twins have at it decorating.
It's good to accessorize. While we're descending through towers and caves here, just want to give a shout out to our behind the scenes crew and Yobari doing the restream and Twisted Flex handling the tracking. Without them, we do not have a stream. So big shout outs there. Make sure to give them a follow. All right, big reveal here coming up on Morpheus' screen. Is this what we need, or is it just some random junk? gentlemen,
Adamant armor.
everyone in between, please record this VOD. That might be the first time you've ever seen anybody reset out of an adamant armor. I think
Neo
that's
Park,
a
what have
free
you
enterprise
done?
first. I can't believe Imagine being Porum in this situation. Be like, oh, finally, my own suit of adamant. Why are we resetting? No! I want it to be shiny like you three. Unbelievable.
We clearly don't need 4 suits of adamant armor. That would be silly. We know 3 is the number of adamant cells will count 2.
Tybalt is heading to Zot, which we now know is the potentially correct play, actually.
We know this is pass or Sand Ruby. There's
it's pass,
simply nothing left.
Either way, you're gonna enjoy it. Oh, we are getting a treasury check here.
Tybalt doesn't have the extra 2 adamants.
Yeah, how many adamant armors do you think are in here?
5. This could be funny.
A couple of light brands, a white lance.
Honestly, that's kind of a weak Wildish treasury.
I mean, if we weren't on Wildish, I'd be going crazy for that. But when you've already seen 4 adamant armors, it's hard to get excited about that.
Yeah, the Crystal Ring and the Artosaur are the big hits there.
Yeah, definitely. Not that we're going to really need damage out of one of our archers, but the Crystal Ring can help with some agility setups.
Potsworth is going double white mage, so that Artemis bow would be helpful on that side. Just for, I think one of those 2 white mages is an archer.
Yeah, absolutely. We do have a heroine robe, so we can keep them as an archer for the whole game.
Tybalt has decided to go with Spoonword, which on this flag says not a bad play if you can find adamants.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you've got ways to keep him protected, or you have other damage that you can rely on, and his damage is just supplementary, then yeah, fling Spoonword at them.
Now, unfortunately, we know this cannot be an adamant up here.
That is true. We're unless we do some more looting, we're out of. What is the
more vanilla?
What? This is a randomizer, people. Stop this nonsense.
This randomization is far too silly. I think we're up to, is it 4 or 5 scoops of vanilla bosses?
Yeah, we know what Nyabari's favorite ice cream flavor is now. This is 5 out of 5. All objectives need to be completed.
Which is why our runners are looking for the Sand Ruby. We are down to this and Cave Bahamut for the last one, or for the Sand Ruby.
And I can't imagine Tybalt is very interested in picking up either of these characters, especially since Fusoya is turned off. He'd be the only one I'd even possibly consider. Moose Tracks is good stuff.
Yeah, it is. I gotta watch how much ice cream I eat. I live about a 2-minute drive from a Ben & Jerry's.
Oh, God. Lucky.
You say lucky, but my waistline doesn't. Hey, Tybalt finding at the top of the tower. We know this can't be vanilla, but it can be the Laugh-In.
Oh.
Oh, Tybalt has the perfect party setup for this.
Yeah, like I'm not sure that was what he was intending, but yeah, we're just gonna skip right past Shadow Dragon here, and we're not even gonna get held. Golbez is just sitting here like, "Come on, guys, this isn't fair." Let me do my thing.
At least let me finish my set before you come in. That's true, because Possum also has the perfect setup. Although Possum will have to sit through 3 castings, I guess 2 castings of Disrupt.
Yeah. Golbez asking the same thing I am about this seed. Why?
Well, I don't know. The ha 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 at the beginning was a fairly accurate representation of the seed too.
I'm imagining that meme now, Scala, with Golbez on stage, like looking through his notes for his jokes, and it's Shadow Dragon, Shadow Dragon, Shadow Dragon, hold gas. Just sweating. There's our Sand Ruby. That's go mode. So that means that we know the pass is being held in Value Cave up on the moon.
That is correct. And I don't think we'll be seeing it. It's probably faster to just walk the LST than it is to take the fight, walk into the Valley Cave, take the fight, leave, go back to the blue planet, and use the pass.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I don't imagine anybody's going to go down that route. Have to settle for 16 out of 17. Well, no, pass isn't a key item, so it's still 17 out of 17.
Yeah, we will find all 17 key items, so we're still at 17 out of 17.
Yeah. 17 out of 17 with an asterisk.
How many items on the moon? Well, let's see. There's 9 trap chests plus 6 chests from 6 boss rewards.
There's potentially 15 adamants up there.
There are 15 adamants on the moon.
There's 14 adamants and 1 crystal sword.
I apologize. I forgot the hair dryers.
Oh, yeah,
16.
that's true. That's the crystal sword then. We are raising
Neither
the
runner
whale.
Neither runner is going to be checking the chests on the moon.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say that isn't happening. Yeah.
Both our runners are going to have more than enough firepower after getting through the giant. Tybalt being the first one making it onto the giant.
Yep, just a couple steps ahead of Possum Morpheus right now. Though keep in mind, Possum Morpheus does have those extra suits of adamant armor, is a little bit better equipped than Tybalt, but still very close between our runners here.
That lead from Tybalt is because Possum Morpheus took those 6 trap chests.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see if it's going to pay off, because this is going to be a little bit of a lengthy fight, or lengthy compared to what we've seen so far, just because of the raw amount of HP. So we'll see if Possum Morpheus's gear advantage will help him catch up to Tybalt here.
In addition, Tybalt did not check the sealed cave. That's about a 90-second difference.
Yeah, and no need to check it now either, since he is in go mode. He won't be making any more checks here. He's just going to probably just go right through the lunar subterranean after this.
So, if Possum Morpheus is going to make up time, it's going to be on these 2 fights with the gear advantage.
Yeah, and with the amount of experience offered by this spot, this is going to put Tybalt right where he wants to be level-wise for Zeromus.
Neobari, that retreat wyvern is going to be at CPU for even more trolling.
I thought for a second we were getting some more vanilla.
This
for
is
the briefest of moments.
This is a quarter vanilla, I guess? But with 4 times the leg.
Now, more leg.
63 or 65,000 HP of leg. Good luck.
And using that ice brand for that bonus damage.
Good news is the magic here is not.
Yeah, it is very not. So that those fire 2 counters.
Possum Morpheus is going to grab the pass.
Interesting. So maybe he's done some calculus that in his mind this is a better play.
And if you're going to get the pass, it makes sense to go to the moon first, because after you've done with the giant, it drops you off on the blue planet.
Exactly, yeah, and he can go right to the giant from the moon, so... Still has to go through the small cutscene there, but the routing makes sense.
I'm honestly not sure which route is faster. That is
That's,
Mylon Z, which
Mylon
is
Z.
going to get shredded here.
Yeah, this is going to be Cecil chopping through this like it's hot knife through butter.
We're going to see 4 swings of quad 9, and
Oh, you love to
think
see
of
that.
Virus. No, you don't need that. You see 4 swings of quad 9. Meanwhile, Cecil on Tybalt's side is being angry with an ice brand.
Gosh, that fight went so quickly. I think this might have been quicker overall.
I think it was.
Yeah.
You hit one of the fights there that you could tear through fast. Tybalt doing a little bit of inventory management while Rubicon is fading away.
Yeah, very smart. Something that some of the elite runners are really known to do is just take advantage of this downtime to manage your inventory, make things easier. You're not doing anything during that time anyway. You might as well do something productive. Right to the giant from the moon for Possum Morpheus.
It appears that pickup pass took about 2 minutes, so it was a time save over diving the LST.
And there's Octoman.
This one, Cecil can get angry, but he's not going to hit this one all that hard.
Yeah, got that holy damage resistance.
So the better plan here is to get the bard drunk.
I mean, isn't that always the better plan?
I would agree it is.
The blinking drunken bard. And here comes Possum Morpheus storming through the giant. Going to come up on the Rubicante fight and try and catch up to Tybalt, but he does have a pass in hand, so even though he's going to be getting through this fight a little bit later than Tybalt is, he is going to be able to go right to Zeromus from here, so this is still very, very close.
Commander Leonhardt, you are not going to get me to sing on comms. I don't think anyone wants to hear that.
There's Rydia again. Please take me. I don't like the idea of Edward singing sea shanties, because every time he steps on a boat, bad things happen.
It was only one time that boat got attacked by a sea monster.
And there's only one time he was on a boat. So he's 1 for 1. What would you do with a drunken bard? What would you do with a drunken bard? What would you do with a drunken bard this late in the sea? Give him a Bacchus and use the spoon. Give him a Bacchus and use the spoon. Give him a Bacchus and use the spoon on the bad guy there.
That was perfect.
Thank you. And let's see who our Lunar Princess was the whole time.
Could it be third Rydia?
Probably. I'm going to say so. No, it was Kane. Because it had to be Kane. Well, no, we still haven't seen the package, so.
Yeah, we all know who's at the package. We don't know who's... No, we do know everything else. We don't know who's on the hook route.
That's true. That's true.
And it appears Tybalt's... Or Kane has betrayed Tybalt's stream.
That's classic Dragoon play right there. And Possum Morpheus is going to be going into the Octoman fight here. I like to imagine Kane and Rose just having an intense staring contest right now.
And that froze on the most awkward stare down.
Oh, hi, Kane. What are you doing here? On the moon. And yeah, just showing you how many levels that Possum Morpheus has managed to get here. Rosa taking a 1900 damage hit to the face and staying on her feet.
Yes, Oscar, there was a little bit of singing. I refused to sing because I don't think anyone wants to hear that.
I was peer pressured into it. It's fine.
And I'm not drunk enough to sing.
And since Possum Morpheus did go to the Bahamut spot, has the pass in hand, is going to be able to go right to Zeromus here. Whereas Tybalt still getting an update on his stream, but is still likely maneuvering his way down the lunar subterranean right now.
Okay, Tybalt is very quickly making it, running through the lunar core as we speak.
There we go. We got him back.
And we're going to have dueling Zeromuses soon.
Yeah, always exciting, especially considering the very different paths that these runners ended up taking. They're going to be going into Z at the same time. Still a gear advantage here for Possum Morpheus.
But Tybalt's going to have the head start.
Yeah. We'll see if that extra gear can make up the little bit of time that Tybalt has here.
And I'm seeing some Z flags starting to come out in chat.
Yep, that's right. We do not randomize Zeromus because that would just make all kinds of things difficult. But we do randomize what he looks like. He loves to cosplay. He's got tons of costumes he wants to put on. So, Angie Dave, what do we like to ask?
Oh, whose butt are we going to kick tonight? Tybalt doing a little bit of inventory management before, or agility manipulation before throwing the crystal. Wait.
Ooh, that's a lot of shakes. This might be a very quick Zeromus on Tybalt's size.
And it's Sesshomaru we're fighting.
That's one of those Japanese animes, right?
Now, one of them, they're Japanese cartoons.
No, I know it. That's Inuyasha, isn't it?
That is from
There you go. I got my weeb cred for today. And casual 4,000 damage getting slung around here by Cecil. Damage not going to be an issue here.
Tybalt getting in the fight, or throwing the crystal is about 15-20 seconds faster. I didn't time it out exactly.
Yeah, this is going to be very close.
Eddie ate the counter nuke on Tybalt's side. And Phosmorpheus is setting up reflect strats.
Is he going full reflect, or is he going to do hybrid here?
This party could probably do full reflect.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like that might be the case here. I haven't seen anything from Cecil. Now Cecil's going to do some attacking. They didn't look like Berserk attacking, though.
Edward back up on Tybalt's side. And getting drunk.
Yeah, Edward is going to be a significant amount of damage here for Tybalt, because he does have that spoon. Edward is very, very fast, so even though he's most likely going to die to a Big Bang, he is going to put out a lot of turns and get in a lot of damage here.
Oh, I think that was a misclick on Phosmorpheus' side, accidentally blasting his paladin away.
It might have been intentional. He might have had him berserked up and then wants to kill him off so that he doesn't attack through the through the HP refill.
That could be the case too.
I'll have to ask him when he finishes here.
I agree. Cecil knows exactly what he did.
He's been stealing the spotlight. He got to shine too much during this scene.
Another Big Bang coming out on Tybalt's side. That was unnerfed and taking down both Eddie and Palom.
Yeah, it still has Cecil, though, which is the most important part of Tybalt's team right now. And we have falling rocks. This would be rough. Oh, Edward is the only one that takes it. Rose and Cecil still on their feet.
And they're both through it.
Oh my gosh, we're going to have to check the actual times here. Let me pull up the room.
We have Sesshomaru falling to oblivion in stereo.
So it was Possumorpheus with 128.56 and Tybalt right behind him at 129.04. So 8 seconds real time between the two of them. Goodness gracious, that was close.
And we're joined by both of them in the room. GG's to both of you guys.
GG.
GG's.
Possumorpheus, do you want to tell Tybalt what you found in the Sylph Cave?
2 adamant armors.
And would you like to tell him what you found in the Seal Cave that you reset out of?
Another adamant armor.
We might have to check, but that might be the first recorded instance of somebody resetting out of an adamant armor on a restream.
Wasn't going to do me any good. I had 3 already.
And you had a white shirt for the one person who wasn't going to have one.
Another adamant would have been nice, but I mean, X-Gal Cecil with an adamant Zeus Gallant, it's fine.
Yeah, y'all weren't hurting for gear much this run.
No, that X-Gal Avenger from Eblin really helped me out there.
You got
the Avenger into X-Cal was hilarious. It's like, that Avenger's gonna last for a pretty long time, and then the X-Cal right after. It's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, and then finding the magma key at the Odin spot. Happy I didn't have to do a hook route.
What were you thinking when you saw the King Queen was the Rubicon spot after bypassing the hook route?
Like, oh well, that's a free hook route.
Were you tempted to do the hook because you went into Odin early and wiped? Possumorpheus, you only went into Odin 1 and were able to one-shot him in your first try. I know, and then Tybalt, you went in a second time before going underground. Were you at all tempted to follow the hook route before doing Odin, or were you determined to get everything done in the overworld?
I figured I could get the Odin done. I had the proper equipment to do so, and then once I had the adamant, it's like, yep. Guaranteed I can get through that. But finding Demist at nearly 40 minutes really hurt.
Oh, that was quicker than I found it. I think.
You knew Demus had you on the overworld, correct?
I didn't. It was either Demist or Twin Harp for underground access at the time.
Postmorpheus found the magnet key first. I think you knew Demus had to be from an overworld at that point, didn't you?
I don't think it had to be unless the Baron key came from something and I blanked on what it couldn't come from.
No, Odin had magma, which it can't unless it's beyond can safe.
See, I always confuse those two.
Well, one of the
that's a
unsafe,
tricky one. I think
and neither of them are on.
Yeah.
One day I'll learn how to
unsafe.
read flags.
I was not happy about the alt gauntlet sitting there. I'm like, well,
Chad was very happy to see Senator Crocodile. He's become a favorite character.
Everyone was happy to see that.
Virus made quick work of that for me, so I was fairly happy with that.
Virus or Quake for me.
Yeah, I set up so that I had the Cursed Ring so that I'd be able to just annihilate most people with Palamon slot 2. He's not going to get the crocodiles, but he's going to get everything else. So it goes as quick as possible without having Quake.
Yeah, how early were you thinking about that play into the Trap Chest and Sylph Cave? Because, you've got the setup for it with Palam's Quake and the adamant armor to be able to outspeed things there. Were you thinking about that for a while, or was that just something that just kind of came to you when you went underground?
As soon as I had the pan, I was thinking about it because it routes in really clean to go through Sylph Cave and then go to the Fey March. Yes, Cecil by himself can clear the Fey March, but sometimes it could be nice to have a friend. And so the whole thought process was, you can get really good loot in there. I'm at 10 key items. I'm going to get about 300,000 experience out of this. And then we can just hit Fey March and not have to worry about it and just keep on chugging along. And it just so happened it had the 2 extra adamants in it, which was great.
We were speculating that you were doing it mostly to take a quick grind on the traps.
Yeah. That's exactly what it was.
Yeah, or I just went straight into Fey March after doing the pan bonk, and it's like, oh look, Ogo Pogo. Yay.
And then, Tibble, was there ever any temptation to go hunting for the pass after Go Mode, since there were so few locations left?
It was either Luca or Bahamut, and I'm like, I don't think it's going to be faster to check either one of those. If I was still looking for the Sand Ruby, maybe I check either Luca or Bahamut and pick up the pass, but I figured it's going to take longer to try and find the pass.
Right.
So Postmorpheus, you knew the pass was at Seal Cave, at Cave Value at that point. I think it was the only place you hadn't checked.
Yep.
Did you know that was faster than walking the LST, or were you just doing some quick math on that?
I figured if the boss there was not something difficult, it would be faster. When it turned out to be Mylon Z, which was 4 swings and dead, I was like, okay, this definitely is faster now. Because it also cuts out the character cutscene from the Lunar Dais, as well as the entire walk down. So my thought process was like, this has to be faster, unless it's something dreadful here.
And it turned out to be one of the freest bosses it could be, given your party.
Definitely.
Well, Postmorpheus, you did take second place. Have you put any thought into what changes you might be making to the legacy flags?
No. Was that something that was on the line for this?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, cool.
You're second place. You get to change the flag.
Like I said, going back to the whole reading thing, it's just not a strong suit lately.
There's a lot of things to read around here. It's fine. We'll get
It's
you
nighttime. We don't read it this hour.
But yeah, put some thought into that, and Zoe will be in touch with you, and we'll get you to put your mark on the legacy going forward.
Awesome. Well, GG's to Coffee and Chocobos. Heck of a time there. GG's to Tybalt. I wish I could have been closer to first, but my early game was not good. But we'll not worry about that because the rest of it was okay. But GG's Tybalt again. Thank you everyone on the Restream team, Neobari, Smapety, Twisted Flax, and Dave. Appreciate all of y'all, and everyone have a great night.
GG's to the 2 of you as well.
Yeah, GG's to you, Possum. Close.
Take care, both of you. Thanks for putting on such a great show.
Not a problem.
And that's gonna do it for us here tonight. Pretty fantastic return for Enterprise Legacy, wouldn't you agree?
That was a great return.
One of definitely the more fun seeds we have seen. Looks like we're going to be shooting you over here to Dr. Cossack, who is still doing the legacy race here. Please do not spoil anything about the race to him, but definitely show your appreciation and support as he gets through the end of this. And for the rest of the team here, Engine Dave, my co-commentator, Neobari doing the restream, and Twisted Flax handling the tracking. I'm Smeepty, and thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Bye, everyone.